Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss the concept of thermal resistance. First of all, why we are going to discuss this topic? What is the significance of concept of the thermal resistance? As we already know, in heat transfer problems, several modes of heat transfer are taking place simultaneously. Consider a plane wall. Heat is transferred from hot combustion gases to the inner face of the wall by convection. Heat is transferred from inner face to the outer face of the wall by conduction, and again heat is transferred from outer face of the wall to the surrounding by convection and radiation. Similarly, take the example of the condenser tube. The outside of the condenser tube is surrounded by the hot steam, and inside of the tube cold water is flowing. Okay, first of all, heat is transferred from hot steam to the outer face of the tube by convection. Further, heat is transferred from outer face of the tube to the inner face by conduction, and further heat is transferred from inner face of the tube to the water by convection. Now we can see that the analysis of this system is very complex. To make the analysis simpler, we introduce the concept of the thermal resistance. Now consider the electric circuit. As we already know, current flow takes place due to the potential difference between 2 points. Similarly, in thermal circuit, heat flow takes place due to the temperature difference between 2 points. Here potential difference is cause and current flow is effect. Similarly, here temperature difference is cause and heat flow is effect. Now in engineering, there are basically two methods of solving the problems, which are practical and the analytical method. In analytical method, we apply some assumption to the theory. If result obtained by the theoretical concept verified by the practical, then we say that our theory and assumptions are correct. We have applied an assumption that rules which govern the electric circuit are also applied to the thermal circuit. Hence, the current flow in electric circuit is determined by applying the Ohm's law, which is basically current flow is the ratio of potential difference to the electric circuit. Similarly, we applied a law to determine the heat flow rate in the thermal circuit. So heat flow rate in thermal circuit is basically the ratio of temperature difference to the thermal resistance. So I, current flow, is equals to the potential difference. I, current flow, is basically ratio of the potential difference to the electric resistance. Now for conduction, as we already know, heat transfer rate is given by the Fourier's law of conduction, which states that Q is equals to minus Ka dt upon dx. Now after simplification, Q is equals to Ka T1 minus T2 upon dx. Okay, we have the formula of heat transfer rate by thermal circuit as T1 minus T2 upon RTH. Now rearrange the Fourier's law of conduction in order to compare it with the thermal resistance. So we have put all terms which are in multiplication of the T1 minus T2 below in the denominator. So Fourier's law of conduction now is converted into T1 minus T2 divided by dx upon Ka. Now if we compare these two equations, then we will find that this parameter dx by Ka is equals to the thermal resistance in conduction. So finally, thermal resistance due to conduction is given as dx by Ka. Now for convection, as we already know, heat transfer rate is given by Newton's law of cooling, according to which Q is equals to Ha T1 minus T2. As we already know, heat transfer rate from thermal circuit is given as T1 minus T2 divided by RTH. Now rearrange your Newton's law of cooling in order to compare it with the thermal circuit. So now after rearranging, the Newton's law of cooling, we will get T1 minus T2 divided by 1 upon HA. When we compare these two equations, then we conclude that 1 upon HA is equals to thermal resistance. So thermal resistance in convection is equals to 1 upon HA. Conclude this lecture by the statement that thermal resistance for conduction is equals to dx by Ka, and thermal resistance for convection is equals to 1 upon Ha. Now we are not going to discuss the thermal resistance for radiation in this lecture, because there is a separate lecture of electric analogy in which we will discuss the electric analogy and about the thermal resistance in the radiation in detail. Okay, so we will stop here. Thank you everyone. Students, now we are going to discuss a problem based on thermal resistance from GATE 2005. According to the problem, heat flows through a composite slab as shown in figure below. The depth of the slab is 1 meter. The thermal conductivity K values are in watts per meter Kelvin. Now, according to the problem, this is a composite slab. It is having 3 layers. Layer 1 and layer 1 is in series with layer 2 and 3, which are in parallel to each other. The depth of the slab is 1 meter. Height of the slab is also 1 meter. Length of first layer is 0.5 meter. Length of second and third layer is 0.25 meter. Now draw the electric circuit for this problem. So this is the resistance number 1 for layer number 1. Resistance number 2 and resistance number 3 are in parallel to each other, and heat is flowing from this end to this end of the composite slab. Okay, first of all, we need to determine the equivalent value for resistance R2 and R3, which are in parallel to each other. So I have determined the equivalent resistance of R2 and R3 as R4. So R4 is the basically resultant of R2 and R3. Upon R4 will be equals to 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. Okay, so this is the basic formula for total thermal resistance, where R1, this is R1 plus resultant of R2 and R3, equivalent of R2 and R3, okay, which is obtained from here. Okay, as we already know, thermal resistance for conduction is given as L upon Ka. Hence R1 will be L1 upon K1 A1, R2 will be L2 upon K2 A2, and R3 will be L3 upon K3 A3. All values K1, K2 and K3 are given. Okay, L1, L2, L3 all are given, and we need to determine the value of A1, A2 and A3 and substitute in this formula. So we can calculate the value of R1, R2 and R3. From these value, we can calculate the total thermal resistance of the system by this formula. Hello students, now we are going to discuss problem number 2 from GATE 2005. A weld machine steel plate of thickness L is kept such that wall temperatures are TH and TC as shown in the figure. Now, case number 2, a smooth copper plate of same thickness L is now attached to the steel plate without any air gap between them. Now, temperature at the interface is Ti and temperature of the outer walls are still TH and TC. Okay, now heat transfer rates in the two cases are Q1 in case 1 and Q2 in case 2 respectively. Okay, now we have to determine the correct statement out of 4 the statement. Okay. Now according to the solution, now consider the case number 1. In the case number 1, basically there is only steel plate, okay, and the temperature of the two ends of the steel plates are TH and TC. The thermal conductivity of steel plate is Ks, and the heat transfer rate per unit area, which is heat flux, is Q1, and the thickness of the plate is L. Now if we draw the electric circuit for case number 1, we can see that nodal values are given by the temperature value, and R1 is the conductive resistance of the steel plate. Okay, heat transfer rate Q1 is given as the ratio of temperature difference divided by thermal resistance, and as we already know, as we have discussed in this lecture earlier, thermal resistance for conduction is given as L upon Ka. Now consider the case number 2. In case number 2, basically if we draw the electric circuit, the 3 nodes we will obtain, because we have 3 temperature values, TH, TI, temperature at the interface, and TC, and R1 is the conductive resistance of the steel plate, and R2 is conductive resistance of the copper plate. Now if we determine the heat transfer rate for case number 2, then we will see that heat transfer rate is equals to temperature difference divided by thermal resistance. Now pay attention to this formula. In this formula, when we are considering the temperature of 2 points, then we need to consider the resistance between these two, all resistance between these 2 points. Now in this problem, we are considering the temperature difference between these 2 points, TH and TC, and there are 2 resistances between these 2 points, TH and TC. So we have considered all 2 resistances. In case number 1, between the points which are having the temperature TH and TC, there is only one resistance of the steel. So we have considered only one resistance. Okay, now we can see that R1 is same in both cases, because steel plate is same, cross sectional area and the thickness is same. So here Q1 is TH minus TC upon R1, and temperature differences in both cases are also same. So from the formula of the heat transfer rate, we can see that R1 plus R2 is greater than R1, hence Q2 will be less than Q1. Okay, further Q2 upon A will be less than Q1 upon A, which is basically heat flux, hence Q2 will be less than Q1. It means heat flux in case number 2 will be less than heat flux in the case number 1. And from the basic knowledge, basically, because in this case thermal resistance is increased, so in this case resistance will be high and heat transfer rate will be lower as compared to the case number 1. Now we are going to determine the interface temperature in case number 2. The heat transfer rate can be given as any of these 3 formulas in case number 2. In this diagram, between the points TH and TI, there is only thermal resistance R1. Okay, so we have considered this. Okay, in this diagram, between the points TI and TC, the only resistance is R2, so we have considered R2 here. And in the diagram, between the point TH and TC, the resistance are R1 and R2, so we have considered both here. Now as I already told you in the last lecture, for 1D steady state heat conduction, the heat transfer rate within the system remains constant. So whatever heat is conducting in steel plate, same heat will be at the interface, same heat will be at the copper plate. So all these 3 values of the heat transfer rate in case number 2 will be equal, because according to the energy principle and 1D steady state heat conduction, heat transfer rate remains constant in the system. So we can determine the heat transfer rate from any of these formulas. Okay, now consider the comparison between R1 and R2. Now we know that thermal conductivity is copper is higher than the thermal conductivity of steel. So from this formula, R1 will be greater than R2. Now substitute the value of R1 and R2 from this formula. So after rearranging this formula, we can determine the value of R1, which will be TH minus Ti upon Q2, and value of R2 will be Ti minus Tc upon Q2. Now Q2 will cancel each other. Then we will get TH minus Ti is greater than Ti minus Tc. And finally, Ti, the interface temperature, will be lower than TH plus Tc divided by 2. So according to the problem, option number 4, where Q2 is lower than Q1 and Ti is lower than TH plus Tc by 2 is correct. Okay, we will stop here.